Hey, welcome. I am Ashley of Shep Publishing House, and today we're going to do a quick live about why focusing only on social media is costing you sales. And so I'm testing out some software. As always, I'm always tinkering. And so let me know in the comments where you are tuning in from live and or if you're watching the replay, #replay. So let's dig right in. I'm in Georgia. The eclipse is coming, and so I'm going to try to finish this before the eclipse arrives. And first, I want to, of course, address how ever so often social media has glitches, it goes out, things like that, and how as an author, it can really put a damper on the work that you're doing because I know many authors really focus on getting their social media together, making sure they're posting, sharing different items from your page, from different pages, and it can be really deflating and disheartening when you put all this work into getting your social media to look a certain way, and then it doesn't even work. And so we know that there's been outages with that. And so today I want to share a strategy with you that's not dependent on social media because I know for many authors that can be a struggle for you as well. Hey, thanks so much for joining over on Instagram. We have someone from New Jersey. And okay, so perfect. I can see the comments there too. So, one strategy you can use that, oh, well, hold on, let me take a step back and let me explain why you might not want to put all your eggs into the social media basket, besides some of the obvious reasons. So, some folks just actually don't even like social media. I've worked with a few clients who are, they're more introverted, which a lot of authors tend to be. I'm not in particular, but a lot of authors tend to be more introverted and they don't always like putting themselves out there, but they really want to get their book out there. Hey, Danielle, thanks for tuning in. We're talking about alternatives to using social media for your marketing as an author. And so it can be really hard for a lot of authors to spend the time to go live like this or to put up posts because they feel like they're being a little bit braggadocious or it's just hard and uncomfortable. And so that's why the option I'm going to share shortly is a great one for you because you don't actually have to do those types of things. You can connect with people in other ways as well. Social media can be hard to be consistent on, and thinking about all the platforms that they are that are out there. Sorry, mommy brain freeze. The platforms that are out there, every week it seems like there's a new platform and it's hard for you to keep up with the different options. And so if you are focusing solely on social media to get your book out there, and I keep using out there because that's something authors tell me and I ask them out where, but if you're somebody who is using solely social media, then I do want to share some strategies with you today. And so my to dig into that without further ado, the strategy I'm going to share today and give you a little bit of information about is email marketing. And when you hear that, some of you might be thinking, oh, okay, email marketing, I don't know about that. But I want you to open your phone right now. Well, actually, if you're on your phone watching me, don't open your phone, but I'm going to open up my email. And just from today, I have gotten at least 15 to 20 emails from companies that have sent me emails across my email accounts. And it's something where we don't even think about it. It's just inherently something that we have in our phones because we sign up for emails or we ordered something. Like I ordered something from Kroger and they just told me I'm missing some items. So for me, naturally, it's like, okay, or some items are unavailable. So I'm going to go check out the email, click, and then adjust that. But it's something that's so naturally ingrained that we don't even think about it as a form of marketing because it's just something that happens every day. If you have signed up for things like Bath and Body Works or Old Navy or Fashion Nova or Shein or whatever, they send you emails repeatedly. And it's a tactic where it's a one-on-one conversation. And so they might put your name in the email. They might say, hey, Danielle, hey, Ashley. And it's something where they can almost guarantee that they're going to be able to see you and to be able to have a conversation with you one-on-one. Whereas on social media, we are fighting against the algorithm, we're fighting against outages, we are fighting for people's attention. Whereas with email, we know 9 times out of 10, as long as your emails are set up properly and you're not marked with spam and things like that, then people are going to be able to see what you are sending them. It's also a one-to-one conversation. So instead of as opposed to social media, it's one to many. So right here, I'm streaming on Instagram, Facebook on a couple different places, and then I'll repost this to YouTube. So it's me having one conversation to many folks. Whereas with email marketing, it's something where you're going into, it is still one to many, but the conversation is a little different. So it's going into their inbox, having those individual conversations with them. But thankfully, there's software that can help you to do that so it doesn't just appear as it's not something you have to send individual emails to different people. And so I sent out an email last week for my agency asking authors if they still needed help with getting their book out there. And somebody responded and said, "Did this just go to me or did this go to everyone?" And my first thought was, well, who's everyone? What do you mean? But I did say, yeah, I sent it out to my list because I want to know what people want to hear about when it comes to marketing, when it comes to self-publishing. And oh, I didn't even introduce myself. So I'm Ashley of Shep Publishing House, and I am your self-publishing coach and book marketing strategist. Sorry, I just dug right into the teaching. I have a teaching education background, and so I just got down with the get down. But with that, going back to that person's question, yes, I said I sent it to my audience because I want to see what you'd like to learn about. And that doesn't mean I don't also send individual emails to people. I do, but in that case, it was a great opportunity for me to be able to survey and see what gaps people had or what they're missing or things they needed to learn about. And I got between 10 to 15 responses just to that email. And so it was a great way for me to communicate with them and to see what they needed. And so for email marketing, it's something that can appear at times to be a little like drab or boring, and it doesn't have to be. It can be something that is really in tune with what your readers or your subscribers need, because that's what they're called, as email subscribers. And it's something where you can really help to get the word out there and really help to market your book in a way that is not something that's so dependent on you doing dances on TikTok or dances on Instagram or things like that, or even having to show your face, because you don't have to show your face, or even any part of your body, hands, things like that. I know people are doing faceless videos, so where you have your hands and you're kind of just showing what you're doing. You don't even have to do that. You could be in your room with the lights off and you could be sending emails and you can still make sales for your books. And so with that, it's also something where you can communicate with your audience in a way where you don't have to be reliant upon whether or not social media is working. So just last week, Instagram had its fourth outage in like a month or so. And if you're over there, then you also know that there's been some underpinnings from creators of just saying, well, how do we really make this platform work? Like, we like it here, we like what it used to be. How can we stay on top of this and make sure it's a place that's good for our audience and our readers? And so additionally, one more reason why you should consider email marketing in your marketing strategy for selling your books is because in order for someone to purchase something from you, they need to have what are called touch points. And that number for those touch points is between 7 to 20 touch points. So that means seeing you speak somewhere, hearing something about you, listening to a podcast, all of those different things. They can take a lot of time, or they don't have to take a lot of time, but if you're only focusing on social media to have those touch points, you are putting yourself at a disadvantage, because in general, only about 2% of your audience sees your posts across social media. Whereas with email, for every dollar that you invest into email marketing, then you are able to get back between $37 to $42. And that could be in book sales, that could be in products or services that you offer. And so I know for me personally, I have 2 kids and I have 2 businesses, and I'm also an author. And so I want to make sure that I'm using the most efficient and effective ways to reach my audience. And that can look like a mix of these things. I'm not saying just do email, don't do social media. Clearly, I'm here on social media sharing this with you, but you don't want to pigeonhole yourself into one platform or to one item, because that then limits the people that you can reach. Now, also, another important part of the aspect of using emails is that you get great analytics. And what that means is that you can see what people are responding to. You can see how many people have opened your email, how many people have clicked. And if you are on Facebook or if you're on Facebook or YouTube, you'll be able to see this. On Instagram, the screen's a little bit limited, but I will share what some of that behind the scenes looks like. And I'll try to repost it for those that are on other platforms. So right here, this is an example of some emails that or my emails that I've sent out the last quarter. So the first part of this year. And this is under my food brand. And so with this, and I'll try to see if I can put it on the screen for you all, but Instagram, you might, okay, you can see a little bit. All right. So from this, and oh yeah, I will definitely post this replay, Yoked with Christ. Yes, I will. Thank you for tuning in and let me know that this is good information for you. So for here, I can see that I have the number of people that the email was sent to, who marked me as spam, gasp, how many people's emails bounced, who unsubscribed, which we'll get to bounces and unsubscribed and spam in a second, how many people opened, how many people clicked. And if I was selling something in this email, this software actually lets me know how many sales I made from it. I hadn't been doing sales emails, so that's why that's not there. But from this, I know that at least this many people, besides I didn't have anybody bounce. So I know at least this many people received my email. And that's not, oh, I posted it and I hope and prayed that they saw it, but this many people actually were able to see my email and had the chance to open it. Then I'm going to switch to percentages. So because percentages actually are a better way to kind of compare apples to apples. On average, a good open rate for emails is between like a 20% is like industry standard. Some as high as like 30-40, but it just depends. And so for this one, 44% of my people opened this email, and then 3.5% or 3.3% of people clicked on it, meaning they clicked on a link that I put inside of the email. And for click rates, on average, about 2% is good. So this was a really good one. This was about me sharing an article that I was featured in for talking about grocery shopping with a large family. And so I can actually look and see what things they clicked on. However, just to kind of show you this email, there's nothing fancy in here. I don't have any cute graphics. And that's the beauty of email, that you can actually get clicks and purchases on things that don't have anything super visually appealing. You can, but it doesn't have to be something that's a part of the strategy for you. And so this just goes, and I'll go over one more. This just goes to kind of show some of the things that you can do with your email in a way that helps you to better target and work with customers to know what to expect that they would like to see and what kind of things you want them, or what kind of things you want to post. And so, for example, bounces. For that one, this was an email that I shared about my grandma passing to kind of explain my absence. This was back in February. And so bouncing means that the email didn't go to this person's inbox. And so that means that either something's wrong with their email address, something's wrong with on my end. And so I can click on that and see who's bounced and reach out to them and see what's going on with that. And then also unsubscribes. And so that's actually a great measure and metric. I know sometimes we get a little caught up on unfollows or unsubscribes, but honestly, those are things that help you know whether or not you're doing what you need to be doing. Meaning, are you staying true to the promise of why people decided to follow you, or in this case, why they decided to subscribe to your email list? And so once again, I could click and see what it was that they signed up for. And then that'll let me know, okay, well, maybe they signed up for something else that wasn't food related, which they shouldn't have because this was my food page. And then I can see that. But at the same time, 0.5%, that's less than 1%. So it's not something that's going to make it where it's going to ruin my day. I'm not going to get upset about it. I'm going to know, okay, that person's just not for me. And that's okay, because that means they're less likely to buy something or less likely to engage or respond or share, things like that. So, all right, let me go back to our main page. And so with this, it's important to really think about how you want to incorporate email into your strategy. And for that, I do have a free class that I'm going to share with you, and it's in the description of this video. If you're on Instagram, you can just comment email class and I'll send it to you. But if you're on other platforms, you can just click that link in the description. It's a free class and it talks about why you should consider using email for authors. And it's something that has actionable steps. I break down what to include in an email, because for some people, they are just like, well, I've never written an email, so I don't know how this should work. And that's okay. And you'll also find that there's some similarities between social media posts and email posts or emails that you send out. And so I'm dropping that link in the comments over on Facebook, and then you can definitely see it in the description. as well, I have just finished up my pre-sale process for, not just, but recently finished up my pre-sale process for my newest book, the Daniel Fast Meals Cookbook. And this is one that I went through and did offset printing with spiral, paperback, and hardcover. And so I am also working on the case study for that. And if you're like, I don't know what a case study is, basically, I'm going to break down what it is that I did, how I was able to get the success that I did, and selling a little over $3,000 in pre-sales, and the whole process of offset printing, because it was my first time doing it. And there's a lot of things that I learned that I will be able to use to help customers and clients to do their offset printing as well. So if you are interested in that backstage pass to be able to join me for the case study, it'll be either later this month or early next month, then go ahead and comment backstage, and I'll make sure you get the link to get on the interest list, which will be an email list, for that opportunity. So, all right, I said I was going to keep it short, and we're right at 15 minutes, so I'm going to head out. And let me know if you have any questions. Drop them in the comments. Once again, the free class for learning how to get started with your emails is in the description. If you're on Instagram, you can go ahead and comment emails, and I'll send it to you. And then also, if you want to get a backstage look at how I was able to sell $3,000 in pre-sales for my cookbook, then comment backstage, and I will let you have the link to be added to the pre-sale case study. So have a great rest of the day. Stay safe out there if you are checking out the eclipse as well. Bye.